The male classmate noticed he was unusually focused on the new country girl. The first time they met, he stared straight at her. If his classmate hadn't interrupted, he would have burned a hole through her. "I'll treat you to dinner sometime." The girl knew they weren't from the same world, so she just smiled and let it go. To save up for living expenses, she worked part-time in the cafeteria after class. She came from a tiny village thousands of miles away, and her family was dirt poor. Her tuition was pieced together by the whole village, bit by bit. Other students took trains to school. She rode in on a tractor. But the way she worked hard and stood on her own caught the rich kid's attention again. To get her to notice him, he used a break during basketball practice to throw the ball at her on purpose. Then he walked over pretending to feel bad, asking if she was hurt and if she needed to see the school nurse. But she saw right through his little act, coldly turned him down, and walked away. His desperate simp routine quickly made his classmates laugh, but he had no plans to give up. The next day, he booked a table at a restaurant, invited a few close friends, and asked them to help him come up with a plan. But he had no idea the rich girl had a crush on him. Instead of helping, she trashed the country girl and called her nothing but a hick. "I can't stand that country bumpkin." Seeing that his classmates were no help, the boy forced himself to go to the library the next day. He grabbed a book and walked over to the girl, pretending to study. Looking at her innocent, simple appearance, he suddenly couldn't think of anything to say, so he could only ask awkwardly, "What book are you reading?" "A plate of sushi." "How's studying going lately?" Before he could even get to the point, his roommate came over and started ranting. "You rich kids are such liars. You tricked me into waiting at the internet cafe forever. And now you're here studying? Since when is reading in the library your thing? You even bought this thick book just to look the part." With his plan exposed on the spot, the girl saw through his intentions and immediately walked away. At that moment, the boy wanted to kill his useless roommate for ruining his big chance. From then on, the girl's impression of him only got worse. Whenever she saw him coming, she would keep her distance. One day in class, the teacher asked her to read a paragraph of English from the board. But because her pronunciation wasn't good, the whole class burst out laughing. The boy beside her didn't laugh, but deep down, he was thrilled, because he had found a perfect chance to get close to her. That very night, the girl practiced quietly on the field with her book. She hoped to improve her pronunciation as soon as possible. But the boy suddenly showed up and gave her a study device, telling her to practice with it. She thought he was pitying her, so she turned around and left angrily. The boy had no idea that his kind gesture would soon bring her huge trouble. The next day, the rich girl who had a crush on him was out shopping and happened to run into his roommate. So she asked him what the boy had been up to lately. "He's busy trying to impress Xiaoqian. Roxiang is into that country girl? You didn't know? He even gave her an MP3 player." When she found out the guy she liked was still trying to please that country girl, she was furious. That afternoon, she went to the rich boy and confessed her feelings. But he rejected her, saying, "We're not right for each other." He didn't want a girl from the same wealthy circle. He only liked the country girl. After learning she worked in the cafeteria, he became even more obsessed and waited on her usual route whenever he had time. "Working this hard, it's so late, you haven't eaten yet?" "Not yet. My favorite shumai sold out, so I can only eat this." "Oh, hey, can I talk to you about something? You work in the cafeteria, right? Since I can never get food, how about we make a deal?" "What kind of deal?" "You save me some hot shumai every day and I'll lend you this." "That doesn't seem right." The boy still forced the study device into her hands. Meanwhile, the rich girl got furious every time she thought about a country girl stealing her crush. To get back at her, she kicked the girl's shoes out. But the girl happened to come back from work study and saw everything. "What are you doing?" "Cleaning up." "Cleaning up? Then why did you kick my shoes out?" "Buy new ones." Although the rich girl's behavior was way out of line, the honest girl didn't want to make a big deal out of it. She focused only on studying and making money. Her roommate tried to stand up for her, but the rich girl snapped right back at them. The girl was truly grateful for her roommate's help. She thought that if she kept her head down, the rich girl would leave her alone. But the next day, the rich girl used her money and power to demand that the principal expel her. The principal was put in a tough spot because the girl hadn't done anything wrong, and he had no reason to expel her. Instead, he scolded the rich girl. "Do you think what you're doing looks like student behavior? Everyone knows your family situation. It already wasn't easy for you to get into college. You can't waste your time like this." But soon the rich girl would get a chance to frame her. One day, while the girl was outside washing dishes, the rich girl had her aunt bring a big bag of calculators to school. Knowing the girl was desperate for money, the aunt started setting the trap. "Kids taking calculus really need these. Aren't these hot sellers?" Seeing that the girl wasn't interested at all, the aunt started chatting with her. "Sweetie, if my husband hadn't been injured at the construction site, I wouldn't be out here doing all this. Your family must have spent a lot sending you to college, right? Why don't you do sales with me? We can work together. But I've never done sales before. What if I can't sell them? Come on, college students use tons of stationery. How could these not sell? Buy them wholesale for 10, sell them for 30. When the time comes, forget living expenses. You could even earn your own tuition." Hearing this, the girl was instantly interested. Seeing how convincing the woman sounded, she agreed right away. She took out all her savings and bought every calculator from her. Then she went to the dorms and started selling them room by room. With all her effort, the calculators quickly sold out, but she had no idea the whole batch was fake. Just as she got downstairs and was about to leave, students suddenly surrounded her, shouting for refunds, because the calculators didn't work at all. Seeing her plan work, the rich girl immediately reported her to the principal and demanded that she be expelled. Sure enough, the principal called her into his office. Now she was in serious trouble. "I was tricked. I really was tricked.